Women at News 360 coming to you live from the news hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And my name is Bawku. And coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Women in Bawku demonstrates for a quick resolution to end hostilities, which has claimed about 16 lives.
Presidential candidate of the NDC fires another set of questions to President Akua. NPP candidate Dr. Baumia yet to respond to 5 questions.
Also coming up tonight, condolences pour in for the family of founder and leader of the Ghana Freedom Party, Akua Donkor.
In business news, Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research kick against calls for the scrapping of betting tax implemented by government.
And on the foreign front, at least 93 people are dead or missing after an Israeli airstrike on the town of Beit Lahai in northern Gaza. We've got details of all these stories and many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X.
We begin from the Upper East region, where women in Bawku have called on authorities to be quick in their response to ending hostilities resulting from the resurgence of the conflict. Taken to the street in their hundreds, the women accuse government of poorly handling the conflict, which has led to loss of lives and properties. They are demanding immediate measures to contain the spread of the violence, including extending the curfew to Waliwale, where there have been pockets of reprisal killings, especially on highways. Let's now speak to our Upper East regional correspondent, Castro Senyala. Castro, thank you so much for your time. What is the current security situation in Bawku?
Portia, thank you too. Bawku is currently calm. Earlier the day, things were normal. People were going about their activities, but somewhere around evening, late afternoon, there were incidents around on major streets where we understand that women poured out in hundreds. Going on the streets, burning tires and asking that government properly manages, the conflict, because the conflict was taking a toll on them. They were losing their husbands and children. And for that matter, government needs to do something urgent about it. The security agencies are on the ground doing their best to ensure that peace is, or serenity is in the town. But then we continue to hear that there are pockets of gunshots in certain areas within the municipality.
Tell us about the impact of the conflict on the women who came out today.
Yes, so all the women have been saying is that because of the conflict, they can't trade to be able to feed their families. And also they are losing a lot of their husbands to the fighting, which appears not to be ending anytime soon, according to what they've been telling me. And also they are saying that they depend heavily on, their market activities, commercial activities, but because of the conflict, they are not able to open shops, they're not able to go to markets, they can't do anything. Their children on the other side too cannot go to school, and for them, it's of great worry, and they need government to take urgent steps, including deployment of heavy military and police personnel to highways, especially the Bawku and that of the Waliwale Tamale Highway, where we have seen attacks leading to deaths of some people.
Has security been beefed up on the highway?
Yes, Portia, security has been beefed up on the highway. I've visited 2 of these highways that we're talking about. I've been on the Bawku Bolgatanga Highway, where I can report that, yes, security has been beefed right from Nabdam district all the way into Bawku. Heavy military and police presence on that highway. Similarly, on the Bolgatanga Walewale Tamale Highway, I can report that there were heavy security, presence of police and the military personnel alongside on that stretch, ensuring that no one comes in to cause trouble. Vehicles are stopped sometimes at some points to check. In fact, my vehicle was stopped and checked before I was let go by these police officers who are ensuring that nothing slips or goes on their blind side.
Castro, just before you go, we understand the Regional Peace Council has also issued a statement. What are they saying?
Yes, so essentially the Regional Peace Council is calling for both factions to use peaceful means to settle the age-long dispute. They are worried that if these attacks continue, it won't amount to any good, especially as we get closer to the elections. They are saying that if any of the factions have issues, they should resort to peaceful means, urging that using guns wouldn't resolve anything. Because if indeed it was something that could, help to end the violence, since it sparked, some time ago, we would have seen positive results. But since they continue to use guns and other violent means and we are not getting anywhere, the Peace Council is urging that peaceful means is the best way to go.
Castro, thank you so much for your time. And Castro Sanyala is our Upper East regional correspondent.
All right, Portia, we'll move on to some other stories now. Still in relation to all the conflict that's happening. The Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, has voiced strong concerns about what he describes as the politicization of the Bawku conflict. Now, addressing the media, he warned that these actions could further escalate tensions.
His warning comes in the wake of the recent killing of 16 people in latest unrest triggered by the return of Siedu Abagre to Bawku after his contentious enskinment as Bawku Naba in February 2023. Addressing the press, Stephen Asamoah Boateng noted resolving the protracted chieftaincy clash in Bawku has been the priority of government, warning against attempt to distort the government's peace efforts.
It's always been a priority for the government. The President, Donkor Akua, has always said that it's a government preoccupation to resolve the Bawku matter amicably and with a long-term peaceful atmosphere. And indeed, we have worked at it.
He further condemned misrepresentations by the factions involved in the conflict, which he says are contributing to escalating the situation. Acknowledging a sense of mistrust that has emerged over the past week, he assured all parties the government's impartial commitment to safeguarding life and property.
We have taken notice of the interpretations, or should I say misinterpretations, that are being given by the various factions in this matter that sometimes seeks to inflame passions and design to escalate the situation. In a way, I sense some level of mistrust that has crept in since last week, but I want to assure all sides that the trust you have had in myself, especially as your minister responsible for chieftaincy matters, and with the government must be maintained. Government is guided by its responsibility to protect lives and property, and above all, to enforce law and order, to restore normalcy as quickly as possible.
The minister cautioned against circulating conspiracy theories and engaging in blame games, which he noted can only serve to heighten anxiety in an already volatile situation. Instead, he called for calm and cooperation from both sides.
I will employ all sides to stop the conspiracy theories going around, the blame games, and keep calm to allow government to deal with the security and the chieftaincy issues thereof. No one should play politics with this sensitive matter.
Away from the Bawku conflict, and fresh senior high school students are reporting to school tomorrow, Wednesday, October 30, barely 48 hours after the release of the school placement. Now, while some students are still rectifying the challenges with their placement system, parents are frustrated about the reopening date. Now, we'll engage the PRO of the Ministry of Education, Kwesi Kwarteng, but first, let us take you through the timelines these students have to go by. Now, the date of the examination, we know, was on the 8th of July. It was between the 8th to the 15th of July. The results were released on the 19th of October. The release of school placement was done on the 28th of October. And of course, we know the reopening date was on the 30th of October. Right, we can now speak to the Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Education, Akua, who joins us live on Zoom. It appears the timelines for the entire process is very, very tight, considering that, you know, the parents don't have much time to plan ahead of the students going back to school. Now, why has it come about?
Thank you very much, and good evening to you and your viewers. Yes, on the face value, the timelines may appear short, but we've put in some mitigation measures to be able to make sure that the impact does not affect students and parents negatively. But of course, if you recall, there is a foundation to this whole academic calendar issues. Of course, proud to just right after COVID, if you recall, we had a bit of distortion in our academic calendar. And as a result of the distortion within the academic calendar was a bit non-aligned or misaligned. And we, within the Ghana Education Service, the TV Service, and of course, the Ministry of Education has been taking steps to be able to make sure that we align the calendar post-COVID. If you recall, even in terms of students writing, they write it in May, June. They used to write it in May, June, but recently they wrote it in August, September. Again, there is also the instance of even the consequential outcome or effect of the WASI exams, where students who ordinarily would have taken admission in schools in September this time around has been taking the admission somewhere in December and even in January. So we have been making a lot of efforts to be able to align the academic calendar, to be able to reverse back to the calendar that we had before COVID. And as part of that, we are also mindful of taking steps to mitigate the impact of students so that it does not affect them negatively. It is even the more reason why we introduce what we call the harmonized prospectus. Of course, the whole idea about the harmonized prospectus is also to be able to make sure that parents who ordinarily would have traveled to schools to get the prospectus, come back home and prepare, would have the opportunity to then get the prospectus and not necessarily have to travel to the school like before. So this, the introduction of the harmonized prospectus is rather reducing the preparation period by about 7 to 10 days. And these are all part of the proactive measures to be able to make sure that we cushion parents, we cushion students in terms of their preparation to school. It is also important to once again reiterate what we earlier on put on the press notice or the press release, that students are only encouraged to be in school from 30th to begin registration and orientation process. Of course, with the whole purpose of getting them ready and preparing them to acclimatize with the schools environment so that they can start full academic activities on the 7th of November. So it is not as though if you do not go to school on the 30th of this month, which happens to be tomorrow, you will lose your placement slots.
All right, Kwesi, I think we appreciate your point. I've got to say a big thank you to you, Kwesi Kwatin, is Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Let's now turn our attention to Parliament and call it the battle of two arms of government, or is it not? Exactly 10 days after the Supreme Court ordered Speaker of Parliament to stay his hand in executing the declaration of 4 seats of MPs vacant, the Speaker has countered this directive, throwing it back at the apex courts. A report by Lord Idoasari.
The Supreme Court, in an unconventional move on Friday, October 18, ordered a stay of execution of a ruling by Speaker of Parliament to declare seats of 4 members of Parliament vacant after they decided to go independent. The decision threw the House of Legislature into a turmoil as both caucuses of the New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress assumed the majority status in Parliament. In order to restore some order and provide clarity, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, shut down the House by adjourning proceedings indefinitely, while contemplating the next steps to take for the House, which has outstanding issues unattended to. Bagbin, through his lawyers, filed an application challenging the decision of the Supreme Court. In his suit, the Speaker, among other things, noted that the Apex Court had no jurisdiction in hearing the interlocutory application by the Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, which led to the court's October 18, 2024 decision. He sprang the court to set aside the processes and proceedings in the Supreme Court and vacates the order of the court dated October 18, 2024. The case has been scheduled for hearing at the Apex Court on Wednesday. The decision of the court will certainly have a huge impact on parliamentary proceedings. Lord Edwasari, TV3 News, Akua.
Meanwhile, renowned lawyer Chacha Chikata has sharply criticized the Electoral Commission's reasoning for excluding the Guan constituency from parliamentary representation in the 2020 elections. He explains the act was a deliberate move to manipulate legal framework, setting a concerning precedent for Ghana's democracy. He spoke on Agenda, hosted by Beatrice Edu on Monday.
It's a very serious situation. We shouldn't just gloss over it. That a group of people, communities in Ghana, have been unrepresented in parliament over the last almost 4 years as we're coming into that. So I think that we have to get into why such a thing could happen. What has been the role of the Electoral Commission, which has a certain mandate under the Constitution to make sure that democracy is protected? What has been their role in undermining democracy? That's a nonsense, because everybody knows that Parliament has a certain timetable, and if you're taking steps to ensure that these people have their right to vote protected, I think you do it according to the timetable of Parliament. But you know what? I think that what is striking over the years, in my mind, is the inconsistent positions that the EC has been taking on the matter. When you look at the legal steps that they took, I mean, those legal steps did not live up to the requirements of the law. Electoral Commission doesn't have power to create or to change districts. Obviously, they did it deliberately in the sense that they issued an announcement saying that people cannot vote. That's a deliberate act. They intentionally put out a statement on the eve of the election saying to some people, you cannot vote in parliamentary elections. That happened. Like I said, the track record has not been one of consistency.
Let's now continue with the rest of our stories. And we woke up to sad news this morning. She was seen as a go-getter, audacious and development-oriented politician whose exploits brought some development to her hometown, Ejuatia, a community in the Ashanti region. The founder of the Ghana Freedom Party, Akua Donkor, was a role model to many women in her hometown.
Akua Donkor began a political journey from here, Ejuatia. She served as an assembly member for Himan Ejuatia in Pobi electoral area before setting her eyes on the presidential race in 2012. She is remembered for some notable projects.
I saw the news about her passing on TikTok, but I didn't believe it till it was announced at the information center. I was very hurt by the news. She was very helpful to us. She even built a bus stop for us, which served as a shelter when it rained.
A role model to many women, her style of politics made Ejuatia one of the popular towns in the Fija-Kwabre district.
Cafe may and quite a school. When I'm the buyer. When I'm the buyer, the annual cat I said, and they are the send. And my wife who part of the fire, Yanadia. That was to be a moment. Messi and Kaya Casa, Obian Kanakasa or Ghana. My Obian or Kakabra from Obian Kanakasa.
To them, they've lost a heroine, but a dedication to development is worthy of emulation.
Meanwhile, condolences are pouring in for the family of founder and leader of the Ghana Freedom Party, Akua Donkor, who passed away in the late hours of Monday, October 28, at the Ridge Hospital in Accra. My colleague Judith Brown highlights her legacy and impact in the political space.
Akua Donkor, the founder and leader of the Ghana Freedom Party, left an indelible mark on Ghana's political landscape. Known for her candid and humorous remarks, she brought a refreshing authenticity to the political arena. Born in February 1952 in Ifija Kwabre district in the Ashanti region, she worked as a cocoa farmer and trader with no formal education. This made her rise in politics a notable one. She made her entry into the political arena in 2012 when she attempted, without success, to contest as an independent candidate. She tried once again in 2016 with her Ghana Freedom Party. She was again disqualified by the Electoral Commission. Despite her past failed attempts, she remained unrelenting. And that certainly paid off. In 2020, she finally had the chance to contest in the elections, garnering votes enough to place 5th out of the 12 contestants.
Number 5, I'm
Akua Donkor placed 3rd on the ballot this year after successfully filing nominations for the 2024 elections. Her unwavering passion for women's rights and farmers' interests resonated deeply with many Ghanaians. As a trailblazer, Akua Donkor defied conventions and challenged the status quo. Her leadership and advocacy helped amplify the voices of marginalized communities, particularly women in rural areas. Although Ghana still grapples with disparities in education, employment, and healthcare for women, Akua Donkor's tireless efforts contributed to the growing momentum for change. She championed the interests of farmers, recognizing the critical role they play in Ghana's economy and food security. Akua Donkor passed away on October 28, 2024, at the age of 72 due to respiratory issues at the Ridge Hospital in Accra. Her presence in the political space will be deeply missed, especially her sharp wit and unapologetic honesty. Akua Donkor's legacy serves as a testament to the power of courage and conviction in the face of adversity. As Ghana continues to strive for greater equality and representation, her impact will remain a beacon of inspiration for generations to come. Akua Donkor's passing leaves a void, but her legacy will continue to inspire and motivate others to carry the torch of equality, justice, and progress. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
May her soul rest in peace. This is your election command center. President Akufo-Addo has been at the receiving end of some critical questions John Mahama has been asking, bordering on the stewardship of the NPP and the current state of the economy. The NDC candidate posed the questions on day 2 of his regional campaign. A report by Komla Kluche.
On Monday, at the start of Northern Regional campaign, it was a bold move in putting 5 questions to his main contender and the flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Bawumia. But on Tuesday, John Mahama will not hold back. This time, the president has come under intense scrutiny.
And Nadano, enye juma biom. 2016, sir. Enye dia no de ene ndada ebe dada ye. Na Nana Akufo-Addo mibusa no one question. Sika yete so no ewe he. Sika oka se yete so a ekom de ye no. Sa sika no ewe he.
In a move to awaken the consciousness of the electorate on how the MPP is noted for hoodwinking Ghanaians, John Mahama posits that he will not stand and allow this to happen. In Pandai, the chiefs expressed regret at giving their votes to the MPP in 2012 and 2016.
We strongly believe your second coming is to repair the damage caused and put back Ghana to its economic and moral pedestal. One of the key innovative policy action of your government is to promote general sense of national unity and societal cohesion.
John Mahama made a promise to build the biggest ultra-modern yam market for the Pandai constituency.
Edimu pa ewo Ghana ha. Enti ye ba Pandai yam market no under your market enhancement program. Ye be sini ye fe Senebeya ebeya krabeshe ewo Ghana ha. Enkrofo befti Ghana ha nyina abakpandai som beto bayre.
The entourage then moved to Woolensey.
I'm going to add one more question. He's on video. And he said that Kufuor's time, 1 cedi, $1. Mahama and Mills' time, 2 cedis, $1. And that if he were Mills and Mahama, he will resign. I'm asking him, today, $1, 17 cedis. When is he going to resign?
Moments thereafter, John Mahama campaigned in Bimbilla and Yenpi. From La Crucia, TV3 News, Bimbilla.
And elsewhere, the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party has renewed his commitment to cutting down on import duties when voted into office. Dr. Mahama Bawumia was addressing market women and traders at the Central Business District of Accra as part of his campaign tour of the Greater Accra region. Meanwhile, Dr. Bawumia has been engaging Ghanaians through a phone call to vote for him.
The first spot of call for the MPP flag bearer was at the Mamprobi Tuesday market, where he exchanged pleasantries with the traders and market women in the Ablekuma South constituency. He later moved to the 31st December market to meet and greet the market women and traders. Dr. Mahama Bawumia made another stopover at Okanshi and the Kantamanto market. Addressing the traders and market women, the MPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, renewed his commitment to cut down on import duties. He also spoke about strengthening the existing policies which are currently ongoing.
Flat tax. Due to no airport to no flat tax. Udi container a 40-foot container. A spare parts, you say a flat tax, 20,000 cities, 20,000. Now go to no.
The MPP flag bearer later proceeded to the call center which has been set up by the party. The call center to afford the flag bearer the opportunity to appeal to Ghanaians for votes.
Assemblymen the who say me policy be wa make us say the common fund so ma assemblymen say the MP common fund say assemblymen subenya enti adia ejuma ayaye ni hihye aye wonti na me pese moto aba no ema me na wontuma MPP.
Reminders to watching News 360. This is our major news bulletin for the day. We're going to go for a quick break. We've got more stories coming up.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
The 5 kg of rice has moved from 25 cedis to 165. Oh. Hey!
Boss, cement moved from 24 cedis to 105 cedis now.
Hey! The kenke is 5 cedis. The fish, I have 10, 15, and 20 cedis. Which one do you want? Hey!
Stop the A.
Hey!
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama at the NDC.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Avoiding injuries, easy. Winning, easy, Charlie. But you know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy, made easy. As I be street footballer, Gary at the top. Now we attend Star Boy. Still Gary at the top. I travel go abroad. Kibo Gary at the top. Kibo Gary, he the bio. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Darling natural twists blend with her hair over time.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She's really more beautiful every week. Darling natural twists get better every day, just like you.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
Looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. We do we seek out to bank baby, no lie. Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here the date. I'm a busy person, me no me need time to wait. Now you to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
And is brought to you by MTN.
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Right, welcome to the business news segment here on News 360. Now, the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISA, is projecting a stronger 2024 growth rate for Ghana's economy. Now, speaking at the launch of the State of Ghana's Economy 2023 report and the review of the 2024 third quarter economic performance organized by his outfit here in Accra, director of the institute also rejected calls for the scrapping of the betting tax.
The IMF recently revised Ghana's growth rate for 2024 to 4% from 3%, citing recent economic developments. It is against this backdrop that Director of ISE, Professor Peter Korte, stated that the economy could grow by 4.5%, surpassing that of the Bretton Woods institution's target, citing improved figures for first and second quarters of the year.
So if you look at the quarter 2 2024 figures, so it tells us that if we look at the past where we tend to grow even faster in quarter 3, quarter 4, then we are likely to grow by 4% or even more in 2024, all things being equal.
In terms of government revenue mobilization efforts, the ISA director has kicked against calls for the scrapping of betting tax. Maintaining his stance on the scrapping of e-levy, Professor Peter Korte said the betting tax is necessary to serve as a correctional tool.
Tax is also used to correct behavior. We don't want to turn our youth into betting, where betting becomes a business. Rather, let's tax that sector, use the money to promote jobs.
Professor Peter Korte has also called for the review of the fiscal responsibility law to include legislation of a debt ceiling to ensure that deficits are contained within sustainable thresholds.
I think 70% is too high. Maybe anything around 60% is, for me, is the way to go. We should not push the debt limit too high.
The forum, organized by ISE, featured the launch of the State of Ghana's Economy 2023 report.
In other news tonight, Deputy Minister of Energy John Sania has underscored the need for streamlined regulations to promote local ownership and competitiveness in the energy sector. Now, speaking at this year's edition of the Ghana Energy Awards in Accra, he highlighted the importance of refining existing frameworks like the Petroleum Local Content and Local Participation Regulations of 2013, which have spurred local business growth and job creation.
A company must have at least 51% of its equity owned by a Ghanaian, with 80% executive and senior management positions and 100% non-management and other positions occupied by Ghanaians to qualify as an indigenous company as part of local content participation in the petroleum and energy sectors. The Deputy Minister emphasized that regulatory improvements, along with enhanced skills development and support for local innovation, are crucial for Ghana's energy sector to thrive globally.
The amendment of the Regulation 4 and 49 of the LI 2204 to include channel partnership and strategic alliance are all geared towards the optimization of the local content in all petroleum activities, particularly in areas where joint venture formulation is restricted.
In other news tonight, Executive Chairman of the KGL Group, Alex Apau-Dade, has raised concerns over the high cost of borrowing in Ghana. He laments that the high interest rate regime makes businesses vulnerable to default. He was speaking on Business Focus earlier today.
Those ones who want to borrow, because who pays 30%? And you asked me a question earlier on, would I fund debt? And no, the answer is no. Even if I wanted to, it wouldn't be in this country. Yeah, because what would you do to earn that kind of money? You're just going to default. You are set up for default. 30%? Who has that kind of margin here? So you are set up to default on your obligations. And that, so I think, yeah, it's a tough terrain, but we've got to put our heads together because we've been doing this thing, this textbook thing, over and over and over. It doesn't really work.
Jumia Ghana has unveiled its new state-of-the-art integrated warehouse at the Free Zones Enclave of Tema. The 6,000 square meter facility symbolizes the company's commitment to enhancing its service and expanding across Ghana in response to strong market growth.
Located in the Agility Logistics Parks within the Tema Free Zone Enclave, Jumia's new warehouse embodies the company's commitment to meet the demands of the rapidly growing e-commerce sector. This facility positions Jumia to adapt to current market dynamics and scale for the future. Chief Executive Temidayo Ojo expressed optimism that the warehouse will enhance customer service and bolster the local economy.
We've been experiencing significant growth in the Ghana market, and it just made sense as the next step to do was to invest for the future. So this warehouse, which is a 6,000 square meter ultra-modern new facility in Tema, is supposed to help us meet the demands of growing e-commerce in Ghana for the next 5 to 10 years. The good thing is that we are in a logistics park where we can have modular capacity. So our ambition is that we double this capacity in the next 2 to 3 years.
He also encouraged customers to look forward to Jumia Ghana's upcoming Black Friday event for exciting deals.
This Black Friday is even going to be bigger. To be honest, this is my most confident event yet, because of the quality of the offerings and the deals we are getting from our partners and from our sellers. Come Friday, you can expect up to 40–50% discounts on some of your favorite items.
Jumia Ghana aims to establish itself as the most trusted and online shopping destination in Ghana and across Africa.
Well, that's it for the very latest in the world of business.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Charlie, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Sanlam and Allianz is now Sanlam Allianz, Africa's largest insurer.
My head really aches, feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procode. And where they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. The only Procode we know is from Kojak. If it's not Procode from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
Wow! So this is the original Procode. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions, insist on Procode from Kojak.
Procode, K-O-J-A-C-H. Procode.
This advert is FDA approved.
My life wasn't always like this. I worked in a bank and had money in bonds to cushion me for the future. Then, with a stroke of a pen, my life was destroyed. My bank was part of the 420 financial institutions which the MPP government recklessly collapsed. What was to become the life of the workers? No one in this insensitive government cared, and suddenly I was jobless. Their incessant borrowing also led to a debt restructuring program that affected me, and just like that, a significant portion of my lifetime investment vanished. Even worse, my lifetime savings from 30 years of hard work has been rendered useless due to the continuous depreciation of the cedi and extremely high cost of living in the country. Now, look at me. The fruits of my toil and sweat have all gone down the drain because of bad leadership. What to eat with my children is even a struggle. God, help me and the many who share in my pain. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Change must come.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama at the NDC.
To all our believers,
to the Niger Gunners of Global Road,
all you Warriors of Africa, of Accra,
of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us. Obrigado. Talo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. Some good news for Ghana football as it looks like VAR might be close to domestic football here in Ghana, as FIFA will hold a meeting with the Ghana Football Association and relevant stakeholders to discuss implementing video assistant referee technology in Ghana's domestic leagues. Scheduled for October 31 and November 1, 2024 in Accra, this initial VAR kickoff meeting is a kick step in FIFA's implementation assessment approval program, a mandatory process for any member association aiming to adopt VAR. The meeting will bring together the full FIFA VAR project team led by Inokuchi Takaki and Michael Bailey to review the technical and procedural requirement of VAR. On the GFA side, General Secretary Prosper Harrison Addo will lead a team including key figures like Alex Kote, who is the head of referees, Emmanuel Agla, the VAR instructor, and Marian Mensah, head of legal affairs, alongside others involved in refereeing, IT competitions, and then public relations. FIFA's delegation will assess the GFA's readiness and, pending approval, grant the go-ahead for the VAR rollout. Potentially a huge step in Ghana football, but let's still stay in the country where Division 1 league side Second D 11 Wise were handed a boost after their home venue, the Second D Jendu Park, was approved for matches following an initial shutdown for renovation works. My colleague Francis Hema went to the stadium to speak to various stakeholders of the club about returning to a place that they call home.
16 years ago, the Second D Jendu Park was renovated to serve as one of the training grounds for the 2008 Africa Cup of Nations. But after years of neglect and poor management, the 15,000-seater capacity stadium was closed down in July 2024 for more renovation works. Second D 11 Wise fans waited in anticipation for a return to a place they call home and got their wish in October after the club licensing board of the Ghana Football Association approved the venue for use. The facility in the last few days have hosted games in the MTN FA Cup preliminary stages. Football fans in Second D were excited to have finally gotten the chance to watch games at the Second D Jendu Park.
Over the years, now they the rise and fall of Jendu Park.
But since I know Division 1 team, I 11 ways waba. I'm a feeling why then.
You are the Abobwa. That's course now from Abobwa. Honestly, I'm pitching, so I am fine.
11 Wise had to settle for different venues for their home games in the Division 1 league, and that has gone a long way to affect their results. Head coach Abdul Malik believes returning to the Jendu Park with their fans will help them recover from the poor start.
We are very, very happy playing at Jendu, which we believe there psychologically a whole lot of things will turn in our favor. Like you saw, though we didn't play to my liking, but you could see them pushing, trying to get all the maximum 3 points for the FA Cup. Getting the win is one thing we believe will redeem us, even in the league. So we are happy to have these 3 points.
11 Wise recently gained promotion to the Division 1 league and seek a return to the Ghana Premier League after the Accra Kachi Boys were relegated to the lower tier in the 2010-11 campaign.
Well, the people of Second D would be really excited about that news. But before we go, Real Madrid's entourage refused to show up at the Ballon d'Or ceremony on Monday night as the Spanish and Manchester City midfielder Rodri was named the 2024 Ballon d'Or winner. The Spanish Giants reportedly opted. Vinicius Jr. was the rightful winner. The organizers of the award have explained why the Brazilian ultimately missed out on the big accolade.
By Manchester City and Spain midfielder Rodri, triggering a wave of angry reaction from Real Madrid. The editor-in-chief of France Football, Vincent Garcia, the organizers of the award, said, quote, Vinicius surely suffered from the presence of Bellingham and Carvajal in the top 5 because mathematically that took away some points from him. This also sums up Real Madrid's season, which had between 3 and 4 players, and the journalists shared their decisions between them, which benefited Rodri, end quote, explained Vincent Garcia.
And so that's how Rodri won his first and Manchester City's first ever Ballon d'Or. That's how we wrap up the sports here on News360. You can get some more sports news and updates on our social media handles at 3SportsGH. And up next on the bulletin is entertainment.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku, #1 on the ballot.
Still am full. This is a bosom many. Yeah, brown new phone. I meet me in an and I communicate. Bluetooth, infrared, fridge, dining table, cooler. You're putting your hands.
Bibianship, what a pedal account. Why? Pelande wo easily go my.
Making money shouldn't be this hard. Just reload and win cash in the Telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning in Telecel More Money promo.
Dial *500# or opt in on the Telecel Play app for free.
Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
The 5 kg of rice has moved from 25 cedis to 165. Oh.
Hey! Boss, cement moved from 24 cedis to 105 cedis now. Hey!
The kenke is 5 cedis. The fish, I have 10, 15, and 20 cedis. Which one do you want?
Hey!
Stop the A.
Hey!
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Hey, Ma. How are you and the kids?
Grandma, I miss you.
Is that a Pia? Didn't she go to school?
Oh, no. She's just recovering from malaria.
You see why I don't like to come and visit?
Oh, Ma. Now we have the new treated nets for every room.
Are you serious?
Yes. Even your room has the new treated nets.
Adwa, then you'll be seeing us soon.
Yeah, now I sleep under my new treated net every night.
Are you serious?
Your insecticide-treated net now comes with a new type made for your sleeping comfort. The new net is very strong, highly resistant and just as effective. Remember, a treated net is better than no treated net. Sleep under it every night and throughout the night to avoid malaria. Let's come on board Good Life to eliminate malaria now.
Good Life, live it well, it's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID and the US President's Malaria Initiative.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku, #1 on the ballot.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by
Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening. Let's do some entertainment news updates here on News360. My name is Donkor. Now, Ghanaian dancehall star and reigning TGMA Artist of the Year, Stonebwoy, has spotlighted some Ghanaian music talents to watch. Now, as part of his efforts to promote his latest album Up and Running, Stonebwoy named episode AEC, Famille, LaRusso and R the J as artists to keep an eye on in 2024 and beyond. In a recent interview with OK Africa, his endorsement highlights the vibrant music scene in Ghana and the potential of these rising stars.
I want to give it to one of my boys. It's called Episode. You know, it's doing amazing, and believe you me, with this opportunity, I know when somebody go checks him out, they're going to know that yes, there's more of us coming out. With this same opportunity, I want to throw some light on Famille, on AEC, formerly called AI. And I want to throw some light on LaRusso as well. One of our guys is doing good, you know, in that new shape. There's Ara the J, yes. Generally, just look out for Ghanaian young artists, and, you know, when you find it, come message me, and I'll certify them if they are the ones or not. Some people can fool you. Some PRs can fool you.
And on the international front, American rapper 50 Cent has revealed that he declined a $3 million offer to perform at a rally for former President Donald Trump at Madison Square Garden. In an interview on The Breakfast Club, he discussed the details of the offer and his reasons for turning it down. 50 Cent also expressed his apprehension about political involvement. Well, that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News360. My name is Donkor.
Thank you so much, Noella. Coming up, international news.
At least 93 people are dead or missing after an Israeli airstrike on the town of Beit Lahia in the northern Gaza, the Hamas-run health ministry says. Rescuers said a 5-story residential building was hit, and videos on social media showed bodies covered in blankets on the floor. There has been no immediate comment on the strike from Israel's military, which began a new offensive in the area earlier this month after saying Hamas was regrouping there. North Korea's foreign minister arrived in Russia on Tuesday for talks as the Russia-Ukraine war appeared to take a dangerous new turn, with NATO and South Korea expressing alarm that North Korean troops could soon be joining in on Moscow's side. NATO said on Monday thousands of North Korean troops were moving toward the front line in their development, which has prompted Kiev to call for more weapons and an international plan to keep those troops at bay. 2 U.S. officials confirmed on Tuesday that some North Korean soldiers are in the Kursk region. The United States has said any North Korean troops fighting the war would be fair game for Ukrainian attacks, and that Washington would not impose any fresh limits.
Well, that's all for News360. Thanks very much for watching. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Bawku.
And I am Portia Gabodo. Join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight. Good evening.